YTPC Padre coming to you via the virtual airwaves of YouTube and the interwebs to say, well, hello there. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're finding all the blessings that the Lord has in store for you. Boy, this year is coming to a close quite quickly. I'm recording this on Monday, December the 30th. That means tomorrow, New Year's Eve, and then we enter into New Year's Day. It's been a pretty good weekend for me anyway. My New Orleans Saints won yesterday, and we're ready to take on the Minnesota Vikings in the playoffs at home. We didn't get that bye week. Would have been nice if Seattle could have helped us out. They kind of got screwed by the refs, if you want my opinion. Or Detroit could have helped us out. But that's okay. We're ready to play some football. My LSU Tigers did well against Oklahoma, and we're prepping now to take on the Clemson Tigers in the Superdome, January the 13th for the national championship. You know, for an old Padre like me down in NOLA, football is looking good. We're having a good time with it. Wrapping up, the getting Christmas cards and that kind of stuff. Although we're still in Christmas. We go all the way to the Epiphany, King's Day. Beautiful Christmas card in the mail from my good friend Ghost Cobb, Mrs. Ghost Cobb, and it's even signed by their puppy Macy. I always want to say Lacey, but Macy. So I'll pass on those season's greetings to old Jasmine Jazzy as well. Thank you, Macy and Mr. Ghost Cobb and Mrs. Ghost Cobb. You're all too kind. I want to give a shout out. The whole point of this video really is to get to my top 5 list for 2019. The stuff that I found myself enjoying. And I got to tell you, as I sat down and thought about the stuff I smoked probably most often and had greatest pleasure from, I kind of surprised myself. I really did. I'll tell you more about that in a second. I want to get through a couple more little shout outs and sharings. And number one, I want to shout out to my friend Mark VV. He's also my partner for the series we're doing over on BRTV called Smoking Through the Sampler. Mark and his lovely bride are now parents of another little girl that's daughter number 2 for them, and mommy and baby and daddy and big sister are all doing well. So congratulations to Mark VV, and God's blessings over your family, my friend. Now, we are in a little bit of a holding pattern. Over the weekend, our video number 4 dropped in BRTV, and it's Smoking Through the Boswell's English sampler. You can go over to BRTV, which now has the ability to put comments, and you can go watch those if you like. We'd love for you to do that. But we don't know when our number 5, 6, and 7 are going to drop. It's a 7-part series. But we got to get Daddy back up at it again. He's a little tired, and of course he's got some new parent responsibilities. So we will get back on that, and hopefully it won't be too long before we get our number 5 video up over there. Also, if you watched one of my previous videos in the last week or so, I was blessed by Cane Rod Piper. I did not win his GAW, yet he was kind enough to think of old Padre for Christmas, and he sent me this beautiful Christmas stem for a corn cob. I ordered a special. I just love putting the forever stems on Country Gentleman. So I put this Cane Rod Piper stem on this Country Gentleman, and this is probably going to be the next pipe I smoke. Look at there. Isn't that a beauty? It really is. Thank you, Cane Rod Piper. You, sir, are too kind. Now, I'm going to put the rest of this aside. There's one more thing I want to share with you, but it has to do with blends that I'm looking to really partake in the year 2020. Some new stuff for me. I'm going to do that after I do this. I want to share with you my 2019 list of blends that I have enjoyed the most. It's my top 5 list for 2019. And I got to tell you, I kind of surprised myself. You know, a couple years ago, I was, really a McClelland's guy, and I was really into McClelland's aromatics. And so that list probably would have been filled up with their arrows. And I've branched out. I've always sort of really, particularly fall, winter, I've enjoyed Latakia blends, going English. I like to do Virginias. I've been experimenting more and more with Virginias. I've really found myself taking a liking to Virginia with Burley. So Burley's one of those places that I want to kind of stretch out into. Haven't been to as far or as deep as I can. But let me tell you my 2019, I'm going to count them down from number 5 to number 1, although these are kind of interchangeable. They're in an order, but I don't know. I could flip-flop on them, and it wouldn't be all that big of a deal. What I am going to tell you is every single one of these, this is also something. What surprised me was the genre that's overrepresented, and secondly, that every single one of these is actually available as bulk, which is really good news. So I'll just go ahead and do it. Number 5, counting down, of the 2019 blends that I really found myself enjoying and going to. Cornell and Deal Winchester. This is speaking of Virginias and Burleys, this is a Weber, Virginia and Burley. It's got a little bit of black Cavendish in there. I think this is one that if you go to tobaccoreviews.com, one of the folks who comments on there says this is a sleeper blend, and I think it is. I don't hear a whole lot of people talking about this. This is a fantastic blend, available in bulk, relatively inexpensive, and just a wonderful, wonderful flavor of leaf. C&D Winchester. I think you would like it. It smokes as good in a briar as it does in a corn cob. In fact, I think it might even do a little better in a corn cob. So you might want to try and get yourself some. I give it Padre's thumbs up. Number 4 on my list. Boy, this is one I've really gotten into. Just been thoroughly enjoying it. McBaron's HH Acadian Perique. This is the only blend on my top 5 list this year that is not available in bulk, sort of. The reality is you can actually buy a 1-pound bag of it, so that makes it kind of bulkish, but you can't just go buy, like, say, 2 ounces in bulk. It comes in a tin. That's how I purchase it. It's a vapor with some Oriental Turkish as well as a little Kentucky, Burley, and Cavendish. All of those are kind of condimental. I think it's the Virginia and the Perique that are the star players in this HH Acadian Perique. I can't get enough of this stuff. It just, it rubs out well, it packs well, it lights well, it stays lit well, it tastes fantastic. It is, again, one of those ones where if you really want the taste of a high quality leaf, this is the place to go. There's nothing that's going to get in the way, no casings and top notes to speak of that are going to overpower the flavor. HH Acadian Perique, it's by McBaron, and it's number 4 on Padre's top 2019 blends. Counting down to number 3, the halfway point here is from Sutliff. It's a little something that they call Voodoo Queen, and it's an interesting blend. I think I might have gotten this for the first time just because the name intrigued me, especially being down here in New Orleans, right? But then the tobacco intrigued me as well. In fact, I think I shared some of this over to my friend Ghost Cobb, who also ended up liking it a lot. This is a vapor, but it's got a little bit of Latakia and Burley added. Again, condimentally, those aren't the big stars necessarily, and there's allegedly a little bit of a cocoa kind of casing to it. I don't get that all that much, maybe a little bit more on the test draw. Then once you light it up, I think you get, again, a good flavor of the Backy. Is it an aromatic? I don't know that I'd go that far to call it as such. It might be kind of a more in the crossover sort of realm of things. Sutliff Voodoo Queen. It is interesting. It's fun. It's tasty. I think it's one that if you like vapors and you're not afraid of having a little bit of a aromatic thing going on there, I would give it a try. It's very inexpensive. Again, available in bulk. Sutliff Voodoo Queen, number 3, as we count down to number 1. We get to number 2, and boy, oh boy, has this been one that I am so glad I found. You know, with the going away of McClellan's and the loss of, in particular, Red Cake, there was a chase on to find out. A lot of folks in our hobby went around saying, what are we going to replace this with? What's out there? One of the ones that I have thoroughly enjoyed, not at all even close to being a match for Red Cake, just have thoroughly enjoyed it though, is from Hearth and Home. It's called Louisiana Red. Louisiana Red. Again, I think it's one of those sleepers. It's one of those ones folks just don't either know about, talk about, maybe they don't care for it, and I'm the only one who likes it. I don't know. But if you want a good red Virginia with some tang to it, some spicy notes to it, this is the place to be. Louisiana Red from Hearth and Home. It's part of their signature series. It's blended by Old Russ Orlet, and it is available. I think it's available in a tin, but you can get it in bulk, and that's how I recommend you get it, because it's extremely inexpensive in that format, and that's how I've purchased mine. Wonderful, wonderful, full-flavored red Virginia. I mean, it's got everything good that you want from a red Virginia. Again, I sort of came across it in the wake of McClellan's going away. I am not suggesting that this is any kind of a match or replacement for McClellan's Red Cake. This stuff stands on its own. It's just good, and you should try it. Hearth and Home, signature, it's part of their signature series for Louisiana Red Pipe from Hearth and Home, number 2. And number 1, I've sort of kind of maybe given away the hint, again, in the quest for some sort of match, something getting close in terms of replacing McClellan over the past couple of years. Sutliff 515 RC1 came out, and it's in the ballpark, you know. It's maybe with age, it might even get a little closer to the old McClellan Red Cake. But even without that, this is just a really good tobacco. It is inexpensive. It's available in bulk. It's a straight matured red Virginia. Inexpensive, if I haven't said that. Again, available in bulk. Sutliff RC1. It's number 1 on Padre's list of blends for 2019. Again, those are all kind of interchangeable. There's other stuff. I mean, if I just sat down and really put more effort into it, some of these might even get replaced by something else. Some honorable mentions is some stuff that I've also been enjoying. I didn't include just because you can't get it. So for instance, this year I came across in a trade, I was able to get a hold of McClellan's 2015. And if I had known about that stuff before McClellan went out, I would have just stocked up on it. So I got to give that an honorable mention, because that is just awesome stuff. McClellan 2015. I've also been enjoying Just For Him Shortcut to Mushrooms. That's not there anymore, unfortunately. So I'm giving those honorable mentions just because you can't really get them, but I certainly have enjoyed them this past year and have enough where I can continue to enjoy them at least in the coming year as well. That's my top 5. There's some stuff I'm really interested in trying in 2019. I watched the video series by Over a Pipe. Martin did a fine job. He always does a fine job. And he's been on the sort of Kentucky sort of genre. I think that was November. And got me really curious about trying some stuff I had never tried before. So I ordered up a couple of the things that that he reviewed, including HH Old Dark Fired by McClellan, as well as Orlick's Dark Strong Kentucky. And also, he did not review this, but I've not been disappointed by anything I've tried in this line, the Amphora. So I went ahead and got a pouch of the Kentucky blend. I can't wait to try these. I'll tell you, yesterday, I think it was, for the first time I smoked some of this. Orlick, Old Dark Fired, rather, by, not Orlick, HH Old Dark Fired by McClellan, by McBaron. End of the day, I'm losing it. And I got to tell you, That stuff is strong flavor. It's got a pretty decent nick hit about it. I don't know what I was expecting, but I think next time I'll probably do that after a heavy dinner. It is definitely a powerhouse of flavor. I rather liked it. I did get a little bit of a buzz going there, so I need to maybe slow down on it. But also looking to try the Orlick Dark Strong Kentucky in 2020, as well as the Amphora Kentucky. I want to see what these Kentucky blends are all about. Want to smoke my Christmas pipe, thanks to Cane Rod Piper. I'm not worried about only doing this for Christmas. This is a beautiful stem, and I can't wait to break it in on that new Country Gentleman. You know, and when I placed that order for this, well, which one did it come with? I don't know. Maybe it came with something else that I ordered. I had placed an order for some Sutliff products, and they came with a free cap, which is kind of cool. It's a camo. I'm gonna put it on. I'm having bad hair anyway. So yeah, check that out, huh? You see that? That's a Sutliff baseball cap that came with my last order. The other thing I just recently acquired, this is, I guess, what you might call a re-release of a limited edition. It's from McBaron. It's the Burley London blend. I am hoping that this is one that is going to be a lot of fun to try. Again, Burley's is not something I have traditionally gone to. They've been in other mixtures and blends and such, particularly some of the old Codger blends. But I'm really finding I'm enjoying them with the Virginias, the Vapors, more than the Vapors, the Virginia Perique. So I can't wait to see what this old Burley London blend's going to be all about. That's one I'm looking forward to trying in the year 2020. So that's it, folks. You've heard Padre's 2019 top 5 list of blends that I enjoyed. Some honorable mentions in there. Again, if you gave me another 10 minutes, I could rattle off probably 10 more for you. I hate the pressure coming, just picking 5. I was a little surprised by the genre. I was very Virginia centric there. I think 4 of the top 5, maybe all of them, huh? I don't know. Yeah, we got a lot of Virginia hat. Well, yeah. Vapor, straight. They're all Virginias. My top 5 for 2019, all Virginia blends. That's kind of cool. Our tastes, they shift from time to time. Doesn't mean I wasn't smoking English blends or aromatics. That's just what happens to come up when I think about my top 5 for 2019. 2020, we'll just have to stay tuned to see what's going to make it to that list. So if you're watching this before the new year, I hope heading into the new year you're enjoying a blessed Christmas celebration or Hanukkah or whatever the season is that's appropriate for you, that it's bringing you great blessings as we head into this new year. If you're watching it on New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, or after the new year, I hope you're enjoying a wonderful and prosperous and blessed 2020. I'm looking forward to 2020 and all the good things that are to come here in our little community in the YTPC. Don't forget to check out my channel over on BRTV. There's some exclusive content over there as well, including the ongoing series, Smoking Through the Sampler. I'm doing that with Mark VV. As I mentioned, a little bit of a pause on that. We'll get to video 5 as soon as we can, but he's a new daddy again for number 2, and so we're going to give him some time to take care of business at home, and we'll get that number 5 recorded and sent on over to BRTV so they can drop it. But you can watch 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have reviewed Countryside, Northwoods, Mild English, and Magnum from the Boswell English Sampler. That's over on BRTV. Once again, a blessed and happy new year to everybody out there. Padre wishing you and yours God's peace, grace, and blessings. Happy New Year, folks.